turn up the music. Oh, we need some more Haitian merengue. Wonderful. I'm Frank Crowley. This is Poetry of Immigrants. Thanks for tuning in. Monday nights at 8 on the internet. Oh, I'm just so happy to be here today, especially probably the most happy I've ever been with memories. Welcome to Jennifer Grant.
Thank you.
And Terry Parkinson.
Thank you.
Oh, and we've got a little reunion going, you and I.
Right.
And some history there, which is always wonderful. And this is Sister Cities, Essex, Deschapelles.
Sister Cities, Essex, Haiti, which is in Deschapelles.
Sister Cities, Essex, Haiti, in Deschapelles.
Yeah.
And many of our audience, I'm sure, have heard about Sister Cities. And this is living, breathing, helping Sister Cities before us today. Thank you so much. I'm honored you came. I know how busy you are. I do want to read a blessing, a prayer, a poem, as the author calls it. John O'Donohue wrote, "To bless the space between us," and it's appropriate for honoring compassion and empathy today, which is what we're celebrating, along with Black History Month.
Right.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yep. Yes.
Black History Month. So, for citizenship, he wrote a whole book for lots of folks, like teachers and nurses. In these times when anger is turned into anxiety and someone has stolen the horizons and mountains, our small emperors on parade never expect our indifference to disturb their nakedness. They keep their heads down and their eyes gleam with reflection from aluminum economic ground. The media wraps everything in a cellophane of sound, and the ghost surface of the virtual overlays the breathing earth. The industry of distraction makes us forget that we live in a universe. We have become converts to the religion of stress and its deity of progress, that we may have the courage to turn aside from it all. John O'Donohue, To Bless the Space Between Us. Well,
Thank you.
it turns out the space between Essex, Haiti, Sister Cities, has a blessing. It must. Look at the folks who are volunteering. Tell us about your personal motivation, way back when, and how that trail led to Essex, Haiti, Sister Cities, founded 10 years ago.
Right.
I mean, you go back
Yes.
before I do, into the 50s. Oh, Jennifer, that's a history, a journey.
Well,
Thank you.
I was living with my mother and my stepfather on a ranch in Arizona.
Ah,
And the Life magazine article, 1947, had an article about Albert Schweitzer in it. And my stepfather read it, and he said, I could do this. We could do this. And my mom said, sure, why not? So we moved to New Orleans, Louisiana, and my stepfather had to complete his undergraduate education and then entered into medical school. And he corresponded with Albert Schweitzer, and they had met and visited Albert Schweitzer in Gunsbach, not Africa. But Albert Schweitzer suggested to him, don't come over here to Africa, there are plenty of places in your own hemisphere. So serendipitously, he met a Haitian physician who said, come to Haiti if you want to put a hospital in a place of need. So we went and spent the summer in Haiti, and there was an abandoned standard fruit plantation because the banana blight of a banana blight. So there were lovely houses on the property and a big piece of property, and the government made an arrangement with my stepfather and my mom that they could have that site for a hospital, so long as they kept it as a hospital.
This is the 50s.
This is in the 50s, yes. And so I think it was probably 52. And in 1956 they opened the doors of the hospital. So I have been going down ever since, and I met my former husband because he was a volunteer and he went to medical school, so we took all our children down all the time, frequently. And I'm glad to say that my children still come and they bring their children, and 4 children, 10 grandchildren, and all 10 grandchildren have been to Haiti, and they've enjoyed it. So anyway, that's
life-changing for each person who went, as
Absolutely.
you and I know.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yes,
it?
It is life-changing.
So when the earthquake happened, the Essex selectmen called me up and said, look, we have to do something for Haiti.
Oh, yeah.
And it has, and we know you are our Haiti contact.
Oh, yeah.
So we want it to be long-lasting, sustainable, and provide opportunities for the people of Essex to interact with the people in Haiti.
That's key.
That was key. And so I got together with friends who had already gone to Haiti with me, and we came up with the idea of the Sister Cities organization. So there we were.
There you were.
Then we connected with a group in Deschapelles that was an all-volunteer organization for economic and social development.
Oh, that. And
Odessa, yeah.
oh, and I was wondering, I was going to ask you why Deschapelles.
Oh, well, because that's where the hospital is.
Yeah.
Yes, right. And I knew the area, and I knew a great many of the people there. So we sort of had an in. So,
yeah.
And that's when I sort of came into the picture.
Yeah. But Sister Cities International said to us, ask them what they want, and then go ahead and do that if it's going to benefit the community. So that's it. We ask the community what they want,
Key.
and
Yeah.
then if it's going to benefit the community and we can raise the money to do it, we do it.
Terry, how did she recruit you, or did you just stumble into it synchronistic?
Well, no, I didn't really stumble into it. I had been always, my entire life, I've loved libraries, and I was very involved in the renovation of the Essex Library. I was on the board and then the president, and I was sort of at a crossroads where my term had ended. And I'm somebody that believes libraries are not just about books. They're community centers, they're lifelong learning, they're a place where people can gather. They have a real meaning in life. And they approached me and said, well, we have this project. Oh. Would you be interested? And I'm like, sure, why not? You know?
That's great.
I love
wonderful.
the whole aspect of it being international. I thought, wow, I can make a difference in one small part of the world. That would be wonderful. Little did I know what I was getting into.
That little. So, personally, how has it changed you, the 10 years?
Well, I will tell you, it's taught me a lot about what I have and some of the privileges that I have.
Yeah.
It's taught me that...
Me too.
You know, I mean, and that's pretty profound. I've taken my son down there at least, and I want him to see. I wanted him to see what a world that he lives in versus what many people in the world live in. I've made a lot of friends down there, and I WhatsApp them frequently.
Oh, that's good.
I have never quite learned the language, but I have appreciated every step of the way of what I've been doing. I don't know how to add to that. It's something inside you.
It is something, and it's partly mysterious, but it's common among all volunteers who are willing to talk about it at that level. And
you get something tremendous from giving of yourself and giving back.
everybody has said, from the Haitian Health Foundation to every agency I've met down there, oh, it's 10 times manifold on the receiving end after just one person at a time or one town at a time.
One town at a time.
Don't you love that, though? Because multiplied around the world, that's the potential.
Well, sometimes people say, well, you know, what about Haiti and all their problems and everything?
All their problems,
you know, I happen to be fortunate enough to be involved in an organization and a town where we can do things, and we are doing things, and we just hope, well, maybe if we do this well, somebody else will replicate it.
I love librarians, especially Lou, who's retiring the Westbrook Library after 40 years of devoted service. Oh, and every time I go to research a new month's topic, I've been around the world 3 times, Lou helps me to find just the right materials. I have to do research, but not on Haiti, because I was boots on the ground in '65.
I think of libraries as a place, there's a wonderful quote that I read, and I think it's a place where children can come and have a world open to them where they might not otherwise have that open. And especially in a community like Haiti, where they don't have the opportunities to watch television, or they didn't have an opportunity to even have books.
Or lights and water.
Or lights and water. And there's a quote in Trevor Noah's book, Born a Crime, which I found very powerful, and he probably adapted it from somewhere else, which is that, yes, you can teach a man to fish, but if you don't give him a fishing rod, and you don't even give him the imagination to know what he can do with that fishing rod.
Imagination, that's so key.
You can't imagine a future for yourself, and I think libraries here, there, and everywhere enable people to imagine a future for themselves.
Oh, bingo, Terry. That is just so...
And that's where I come from. So they're not just about going in there and doing research, which is an important part of our library. It's also about giving kids an opportunity to see what might be out there for them. And Jennifer can probably speak to that a little bit.
Well, just to see what you're showing here today, I mean, think about it. Think about those smiling faces. Really. I mean, that says so much. Not only this, which is a wonderful, wonderful, well done from the old oil cans. Yes, and the you know, the steel bands and all that culture is just sort of encased in all this. And look at the artwork of the kids holding hands. Well, the Essex City.
And it says, then it has down here in Creole, tête ensemble. And it says, put your heads together.
Oh!
And so we have this lovely friend who's a very fine artist, and he, I said, Marco, you know, can you do, he makes nice logos, and this is what he came up with. So
it's a work of art, and to have the Creole with it, you know, that's the point. You know, respect for the language and the culture and the cooking, and I love it all. I remember it all.
But most people don't even know where Haiti is.
They don't know where Haiti. Let's show them. Oh, that'd be wonderful. And thank you. That was such a personal explanation. I appreciate that.
Well, people don't realize that, I guess, Haiti shares the island with the Dominican Republic, and many go there for, you know, vacations. In fact, my brother was just there.
Was he?
Yes, but you know, it's in the Caribbean, and it's not that far from from Florida.
Yeah, about 838 miles from Florida, 720 to Key West, shares an island. And is the population really up to 11 million? I remember it was 7 when I was there.
Well, that's what the latest statistics said.
Wow.
You know.
But how do they take their statistics?
How do they take their statistics?
Oh, that's
a big
great question.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Well,
So,
you know,
yeah.
numbers can work as your favor. So if everybody says, "Oh, there are 11 million people," then everybody will, say, "Oh, good. I mean, they have a lot of need. There's 11 million people there," or like how many people died in the earthquake.
Yeah, that's a big question.
That's a big question.
And then a little more on context. This was an email from an article written by a journalist in the Miami area. UN history in Haiti.
Oh.
The multinational force arrived in Haiti in 2004 to secure the country. This before the earthquake.
Yes.
Support elections and train the police after a bloody revolt toppled President Jean-Bertrand Aristide. Like the 1994 peacekeeping operation and others that followed in the 1990s, the stabilization mission was initially considered a success. But as controversial elections triggered one political crisis after another, the mission's popularity waned. The situation worsened when some peacekeepers were accused of sexually abusing Haitian boys and women, and Nepalese troops introduced a deadly cholera epidemic after the January 12, 2010 earthquake.
Well, I did a lot of reading for a presentation on Haiti, and Jennifer knows this better than I do, but over and over again you saw, there was, after the revolution, it was the first slave revolution, that they freed themselves back in 1804 or something?
1804, and you know what they did? Yeah. They tore the white out of the French flag. Yeah, right. The tricolor of the French flag, get rid of the white, they tore it off.
But the French asked for reparations, and if you fly over Haiti, for a long time, the Dominican Republic would be forested, and Haiti, they had to send all their wood to France. And there were many, many years of just everybody coming in, including the United States, with good intentions. But it did not do they did not do what they intended to do.
From the get-go.
Even former President Clinton has apologized for some of what we did there.
Well, I think that's one of the things that's really key, is that the Americans came in several times, and as is the case with the earthquake, everybody came with ideas about what they needed. Nobody stopped to say, "Excuse me, how can we help you?" Oh, they have a wonderful idea of a prefab house made, and they send the parts down, and it only costs $10,000. Well, it only cost a Haitian $5,000 to build a cement block house. Why not just give them the $5,000 and let them be proud of what they've done?
Why not?
Nobody asked. I think it was probably very rare that people asked, what did they?
You know, that's the malady of all behind 10,000 NGOs in Haiti right now. I tried to put out a feeler. Would you connect with this one, and would that one connect? No answers.
Oh,
with every NGO that I could mail a letter to.
I'm not quite sure. You mean the NGOs in Haiti do not connect with each other?
The ones that I polled nationally, I thought, let me start. I've had the background with the Haitian Health Foundation. Let me start with that and see who else is pooling resources and information and communicating, if not daily, weekly, on who's doing what where, so that it could have a multiplier effect.
Well, we are very involved with, and another thing that I have a lot of friends who have NGOs in Haiti that do things that are totally different from us.
Yeah, but you have them as friends.
Absolutely.
How wonderful.
Absolutely, and the one fellow was saying it's very important to have relationships with Haitian entities on the ground. So we do that because we have a very strong relationship with the organization of Focal, which was totally Haitian run, but it was founded by George Soros.
Thank you for saying that, because this is the secret and the key to effective
We're
action.
connected with them. When we have a music program, and we're totally connected with the École de Musique, which was founded by the Anglican Church, the Episcopal Church in the 40s. And that is a great resource for us. I mean, we're having a wonderful time with that.
So someone in Essex, Haiti, sister cities, had the foresight, the experience, and the understanding. Thank you.
Well,
to
I
do
think it
it
was
the
Sister
right
Cities
way.
told us. Sister Cities said, find out what they want.
Find out what they want.
But to keep these affiliations, and so we have a lot of affiliations
Keeping
with
them.
what we, tennis. We have a tennis group, and we are affiliated with the Haitian Tennis Federation. So that we're working with them, and we go to their tournaments, and they have a robotics program, and so we do that, so that we're connected with the Haitians.
I see.
But
From the ground up.
Right, and I personally am connected with a lot of NGOs that do things in Haiti in a different area.
And key is that personal connection, the deep-seated personal friendship and connection that really makes things work. That's part of the culture too, isn't it, down there?
And you might ask, why a library? Why did they
I
want
was about to say.
Yeah.
There's a photograph of the kids studying under the street lights of the hospital.
Do we have a...
Yes.
And you can see how dark it is.
Oh my goodness, that's so powerful.
With mosquitoes out there, and these kids are really trying
That's so
to study.
moving
Yeah.
to see that. Oh,
I think the one is, does he have a, there was one that had a picture, maybe of a blackboard where it was a little sort of a kind of an alley, and there was lights, and the fellow had a blackboard up there, and he was teaching math that our first president, Kathleen Maher, her son said, "Oh, that's what I'm studying," and he was an undergrad, he was a high school student, and he said, "Oh, yeah, no, that's what I've been studying."
in some
Or maybe
lighted
it was
alley,
Brenda's.
taking advantage of
Yeah,
it.
well, you have to understand, Deschapelles does not have an electrical grid. It does not have running water. They're out of
Okay.
wells. They're unpaved roads, and a lot of the kids don't even go to school.
Right.
So I mean, this scene is not unusual.
Right.
And I think that was the primary motivation for Odessa to say, we need a place for kids to study at night that's mosquito-free, that's safe,
Well lit.
well lit.
For
And that's
sure.
that's what started it all after the earthquake.
Right.
Well, what a great function and idea that this meets the needs of where the Haitians are at the moment. A library. What's better than that?
I think it's really interesting too that I suddenly realized what a leap it's taking for the people who were running the library. And we have a friend down there who helps us a lot. Her mom was a Mennonite who married a physician, a Haitian physician who was working at the hospital, so she had grown up there. And she said, "Look, we need a painting corner here in the library. We need something.
Yeah.
We have educational toys and materials, but we need to have a painting corner." And
The
one of the
creative
librarians,
imagination to cultivate.
Well, and the librarian, this wonderful librarian, said, "But I don't know how to paint." And I thought, well, nobody has had a chance to sit down and, a mom get out paints for kids to just
Right.
fiddle with.
No experience.
Although the Haitians are very good artists.
Aren't they, though?
Yes. And then I thought even a little bit more, none of those librarians that are working there, nobody probably has had a chance to sit in their mom's lap and have the mom read a book to them.
That's it.
And you kind of don't realize
No, you
that.
don't.
You know they don't have, but then it's, and that was very just Elysian saying, "But I don't know how to paint." Well, okay, hey, we'll all do this together. we'll adventure, and it's an adventure because all the art that they see is very carefully done. So you think you have to know that. No, it's just an experience. It's a wonderful experience you can have.
Wonderful.
Robotics.
I think that's a perfect time to break. We'll take 3 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm happy to pour you some.
Do you want to talk about the process of building this library and what it looks like, and then the other projects?
Not so much the building, just what the students look.
Then we have pictures of that. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And we're going to take a break, and when we come back, let's have the meringue, more of it. Thank you. As soon as we come back.
What's your music? Yeah, right. I should have brought a CD for you guys.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Don't you just love it?
Valley Shore Community Television is constantly adapting to the demands of our viewers. Busy schedules are making it hard for viewers to watch shows when they air.
Television has changed dramatically. We don't have to be appointment viewers or listeners anymore.
No.
We can do this in real time.
VSC TV has made it easy to watch all our locally produced content online and when you want it. Visit vsctv.com and click on the Watch Online tab to watch live, or visit our local show playlist to easily navigate your favorite shows anywhere, anytime, and on any device. VSC TV is your local Connecticut Mid-Shore Valley digital connection.
Get it. Get it.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Get it.
Is she gonna get it, Daddy?
She'll get it. Get it. Get it.
When you bring home a Goodwill find, you give your whole town a reason to celebrate because you're also funding local job training and placement programs in tech, healthcare, and more. Goodwill. Bring good home.
Hi, I'm Kelly. It is my job to teach employees the responsible way to sell both tobacco and electronic cigarettes. As of October 1st, 2019, a customer must be at least 21 years old to purchase a tobacco product or an electronic cigarette. The law also says all employees must card anyone who appears to be under the age of 30 years old. The free updated prevention education program will be available on October 1st, 2019 at cttobaccotraining.com.
Community TV, your neighborhood TV.
Publicly funded and a reliable partner for cable companies nationwide, it provides transparent coverage of local and state government, education, and public programming.
A digital town green that can be watched anywhere, anytime, and on any device.
Watch us on today's high-tech distribution methods.
Community TV in Connecticut.
Local,
unfiltered,
reliable, and yours.
Thank you, Max. Max, our cameraman, he's great and he's reliable. And of course, Chris Morgan, director, he runs it. And Christy, boy, she's on the ready. She picks out the music instantly, and isn't that a pretty color?
Right.
Ah,
nice.
Let's do the slides. Yes.
Well, you've just got an open picture of the library as it was being constructed, but it's what goes on inside of it now that's really wonderful. This was designed by a friend in Essex, Hope Proctor, and she did it for free. There was
volunteer.
All of us do everything as volunteers.
We have no paid volunteers, and most of the folks in Haiti are volunteers also, like the tennis coaches and the music
now that
coaches.
does my heart good. That is so key. that's really something.
Right.
Under those conditions.
Oh, this was, that was the construction, and it took us several years. Well, we did it with Haitians. We did it because they were involved.
There you go.
Yeah, and it's a lovely building, and it took little bit of time to build. But
I love the openness of the architecture,
well,
the free, welcoming.
Yes. Well, Hope went down. She came down before she started designing.
Hope
to
Proctor.
see what the buildings around were, what would be appropriate for Haiti.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make sure we had a place for kids to study where that would be well lit, mosquito free, but a children's section, an adult section, and a computer section.
Oh.
And the librarian's office is in the middle of the whole building. So they can see out every window what is going on, and they're accessible to everybody. Nobody's behind a door.
Wonderful.
It's about a 3,000 square foot building and has almost 5,000 books in it and many laptops. And as you'll see in the next couple of slides, there's a lot of activity going on. That's still in the construction phase.
Exciting. Look at the art.
Yeah, and we used as much Haitian art and Haitian materials and Haitian chairs.
Medallions are all on done by a local artist. The artist who did this.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And that's the completed building.
It's gorgeous. Just so open.
In fact, a little book was written about it.
Oh, goody.
Oh, yes, this. Yeah,
Anna Goes to the Library. And this is the grand opening celebration. Everybody was very happy to have it done.
Yes.
And we had merengue music. We had lots of music and lots of poetry and
poetry too.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
And there's the library as it's being used by the kids.
Well lit, natural
well lit.
light.
It's well lit and
Isn't
it's
that fun?
open and airy and.
Oh, well, thank you, Miss Proctor. Oh,
this is a cross-cultural activity, and I'd like to talk a little bit about the cross-cultural activities. And we were talking about book buddies, but there was a sixth grade teacher. For a couple of years, we had a cross-cultural things going on, and this was one where everybody painted a flag from showing something about their community, and then we exchanged the flags. So these are the ones that the youth here had done. We had another cross-cultural activity with a woman who was teaching 7th graders, and they read the same book, one in French, and a group of students in Haiti, they read the same book in French and in English, so that we created questions for the children to answer, and we exchanged the answers to the questions.
Oh, God, it's clever. And I noticed theater and poetry, my favorite.
Yes.
Ooh, that's key, isn't it?
We have a wonderful fellow.
Well, Andre Miracolano, who came in, and he is just wonderful. He's got the kids dancing, he's got the kids reading poetry, creating things. He's absolutely wonderful.
Every trip I've ever taken has just captivated me with the native, natural ability with the creative imagination to make things out of everyday objects that are so artful, aesthetic. Yes, rolling
More
on.
activities.
There we go. Look at that. So well used, probably.
Well, we have many reading groups, and you know, there are clubs down there. But as we keep going in the slides, one of the most interesting things that happened, and Jennifer can talk about that a little bit, was while we were building the library, another number of other programs, which you've referenced before, were started, including a music program and a tennis program and a robotics club. And that's again where there's some cross-cultural. I think we'll come to that slide soon. There's lectures.
Several boys from the Valley Regional High School, 3 boys with a couple of parents that had gone to Haiti with me otherwise when their kids were really little, but they took the 3 boys down to work with the robotics kids who were doing robotics. I don't know anything about robotics, but what they lacked was the battery that would make the robots move. Oh. So in a week, these kids taught their the Haitian children how to make them manipulate, follow a pattern. The children had created robots, but some of them had not even manipulated a keyboard.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, after 3 days, they ran out of all their curriculum because they learned so quickly. So they have both boys and girls in it. And when they competed, that was in August, and when they competed in the springtime at the National Haitian Robotics Competition, they won 2nd place.
Isn't that miraculous, though? Really? That they would be such quick learners.
Yeah.
And robotics of all things, you know?
Yeah.
A full-fledged robotics program. Who
they
would
have
have thought?
60 kids in the program now.
Oh.
From
3 different groups.
3 different groups.
Really?
It's taken off like wildfire.
This is doing... I mean, really, I'm an old fogey going back, but this is exciting. And look at how gleeful they are. And interested. It's like, but it's the merging, isn't it? It's Essex, Haiti, sister cities that's really alive. Because that's what happens. I can see.
We encourage children, youth, and particularly the high school, to think of ways to interact with us. And last year, one of the boys who had gone down to Haiti was watching, a year ago, a young man making a potable water program. And he said, oh, you should talk to Jennifer Grant. So for the rest of that year, we worked together, and he created a portable, potable water filter system. And the hospital Albert Schweitzer, said, sure, we'd be glad to trial it. Oh. So it is now, finally has gotten down there. So we're going to see how it works, and it could be a cutting-edge thing for a lot of organizations.
So with the hospital right there, there is cross-pollination, crossover.
Yes.
Oh, see, that's a key.
One of their OB/GYN doctor is an avid astronomer. So he comes down and he talks about the stars and
I love the constellations, and teaching young people
and they had a special session when they had the eclipse of the sun.
Oh, yeah.
So they...
Yes.
This is so rich. It is so culturally rich for both. You know.
Yes.
Imagine local high school students coming from here to Haiti for the first time, and what that does, you know, as you described, your own grandchildren. Wow.
Right. So when we started, they asked for a library. And then we said, okay, and we thought we had a building, then it didn't survive. I mean, we couldn't use it after all. But we also had things going on. There was a group of adult men who had been boys who played around on the tennis court. There's a tennis court there because of the Standard Fruit Plantation had put in a tennis court. Oh. And so then these folks were now using the tennis court, and they said, well, they have a team. So we said, oh, okay. So I was able to get somebody to come down to coach them, to coach the coaches on their game, coach the coaches how to coach the kids. Oh, yeah. And then affiliated with the Tennis Federation in Port-au-Prince. And they have tournaments. And so these kids go to the tournaments and they do well.
I bet they do well.
They do very well.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the coach is so good, he got me back into tennis.
You too.
Yes. Right. Yeah. He says, oh, I've never had such a good lesson. He's very good, yeah.
So next trip, you'll have to...
Oh, I do. I get dragged out on the tennis courts every time I go down there. It's great.
That's wonderful.
And the kids always, there's a little educational aspect of it too.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And when they go on a tournament, or, you know, said to the coaches now, the first time I did it with the people that were, training, Okay, you're representatives of Deschapelle. You are representing Hospital Albert Schweitzer. You are representing Odessa and Sister Cities, Essex, Haiti, and you carry yourselves with dignity, and we continue the whole idea of Hospital Albert Schweitzer, which is reverence for life, and respect for each other, and respect for the property, and so then they go out with that kind of a background when they go, and the comments are, we really appreciate your kids because they're really, really good citizens.
And the attitude they bring, from that.
So,
what a complex.
Yeah, and they work together, the way they work together, the way they support each other, the kids and the coaches is just fantastic. And it's true of the music program too. These towns have a fanfare band, and they play at funerals or occasions or what have you. And so they asked us if we could bring down a music group to teach them different things.
Wow.
And this is sort of a formal group of people. And I said, oh, do they read music? And they said, oh, yes, sure. But Patty Hurley from the music school, who came down to be the director there with a group of us too, she said, yeah, I don't think they all read music. They're just picking up off each other.
Oh, yes.
So it was fun.
Natural gift.
That has grown, and one of the people who started with the program was able to work he went for graduate studies in Port-au-Prince and took lessons. He wanted to play the clarinet, so he started playing the clarinet, and we sent him to the École de Musique outlying summer camps. And then, after he went to Port-au-Prince to study to be a lab tech, he could then take lessons from the principal clarinetist at the symphony that they have there. And very talented guy, very lovely guy. He was playing, before you knew it, he's playing with the Philharmonic. So during the last, then he came back to Deschapelle and he began to teach some kids. There was a school that had some musical instruments and he started teaching them. This summer he had an event. He came up this summer to do a week internship at a summer music camp in Maine. And then he went back and he taught. He is teaching a lot of kids playing all sorts of different instruments. And he's just absolutely wonderful. It's not just Haitian music, it's classical music, and he writes out all the parts for them. I mean, it's just like, he is amazing.
Wow. Look at the opportunities you're providing. One person at a time, one gift at a time, one cultivation of natural gifts and intelligence.
Right.
I mean,
but isn't that the way you've got to do it? It's on the ground,
right.
Not up in the
no,
stratosphere?
And as you emphasize, you ask what's needed next.
Right, or this young man, the clarinetist, came by the tennis court when I was there, and he said, I would like to learn to play the clarinet. And I said, fine, go to, the fanfare band member, who has all the instruments.
And the giving back is really what's
yes,
making this snowball, if you will, that
right.
allows, and then the connections. Are there other sister cities in Haiti run by Connecticut-based?
I'm not sure about the existence of other sister cities. There was at one point, we tried to make connections with them, but it didn't work too well. I don't know how well they've survived.
Right. I think there was a New Haven once.
Yes, there's, and I don't know if that's there. The biggest groups are the churches.
Yeah.
That go down. The Catholic and the Episcopal Church also have a lot of schools and and parishes, and so people from up here do make connections with them.
We have 10 minutes, and I just want to expand this for a minute into an appreciation of what is possible with Haitian children who are practicing their own gifts, their creative imagination with drama and poetry. That would seem to be a very rich field for them. Of course, you're going to a writer tonight.
Yes.
Edwidge Danticat. And a discussion of Hadriana in her dreams, correct? I mean,
there's a book written by, there's a book club with.
But Edwidge Danticat is.
And, yeah, right, so she is involved because it takes place in Jack Mellon. She's written a book about Jack Mellon. She's written all these wonderful books.
I've read one of her books. Could we say her name again? Edwidge?
Edwidge Danticat, sorry.
Danticat.
Danticat.
So she's in the library. She's in the Westbrook Library or any library.
Oh, yes.
And
well, she should be.
She should be, because if you want to live it, right?
Yes.
Get a flavor of the culture, imaginatively be there as a reader, pick up one of her books.
They are wonderful.
They're wonderful.
They're not always a beautiful. It's a very real and very.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to say graphic. That's not the right word.
Grim.
But it really. Grim.
Sometimes, yeah.
She was born in Haiti and then moved up to Brooklyn when she was 11, and so she had all of her schooling.
The diaspora is fascinating, you know, because
absolutely.
Paris and France, and yet not too many have come back to really cultivate and serve. Or have they?
A lot stay connected.
They do.
One of the, a woman who ran the reforestation program at Hospital Albert Schweitzer actually was born in Haiti, studied, and what have you, and read that they were looking for somebody to do the reforestation program when she was at school in California. So she came back.
Oh, that's a good story.
So you do have some, but whether they come back or not, they are very much tied.
Still connected and helping.
Yeah, and we have
our library is built on land that is from a gentleman from Deschapelles who lives in Brooklyn, but he goes back frequently.
Oh, I wanted to hear about that. The land was a Haitian gift. Haitian-born guy.
Wouldn't, no self-respecting Haitian is going to sell his land.
No.
But he'll lease it to us. So he leased us the land, and the caveat is if he wants to take it back again, he has to pay us, what, 75% of the cost of the land. But he loves it. He's just so happy about it. He's really, he said, enough of this talk looking for land. Look, I have this land here.
Oh,
you can have 2/3 of it.
And you know, that's been duplicated so many times. I've heard that story about Haitian-born giving back the land needed for this, that, and the other.
Right.
Oh, that's really so positive. I'm glad you mentioned that.
And we just had a young Haitian family, or Haitian, he's in the States, he's joined us now in working with us, and it's wonderful because he speaks fluent Creole, and we go back and forth, so in a sense that's giving back as well.
It is. So there are so many different ways of giving back that they take advantage of and do, because the connection's always there, right?
Right.
The land, the heart, the...
Yeah, one of our almost original board members is Haitian-born, moved up to New Haven when he was 11, went through all the schools, and went to Yale, and then he went to graduate school and what have you. Now he's teaching, but he has gone back and forth to Haiti. He went with a group from Yale after the earthquake to help translate for the forest program.
I'm glad to know this because my view is constricted in terms of my own personal experience, but this is so rich for me to understand the fullness, but also to follow, oh my goodness, the Albert Schweitzer Hospital, and wow. So, wow, geographically, our readers could check with the library too, just to figure out the different parts of Haiti.
Right.
The north,
and you
the
can Google,
south, the west.
Yeah, you could Google Sister Cities, Essex, Haiti.
That's good, I did.
You can Google Hospital Albert Schweitzer.
Oh, for sure.
Then
the Essex Library also has a very good collections of books on Haiti.
Which focused on Haiti, right.
Okay.
Not only nonfiction, but some very good fiction books as well.
Well, that's good to know, because Essex is one of our 9-town collaborative towns that went together to get Valley Shore covering more territory than just the local cable. So this is a big deal, and your audience is going to be very grateful to hear and see you. We are down to 4 minutes.
We have another neighbor in Lyme, Old Lyme, who have a Crosby Fund for Haitian education. And they came down to Haiti with me, both Ted and Becky at different times. And they saw a young man studying out under the lights, and they said, well, you know, what school are you going to? And he said, oh, I don't go to school, I've lost my sponsor. So they sponsored him for $300. Anyway, so they have a whole center there where all of the children that they work with, they give scholarships to children who would not otherwise be able to go to school, who are promising students. And they have a very good program.
Most schools are for profit. I mean, they're not public schools, so
very few.
A good percentage of kids don't go to school.
It's the tragedy of it all. No public funding, local schools for Haitian children to learn the basics. So everything has to be.
That's right.
2 minutes. So today we celebrated Essex, Haiti Sister Cities, and we celebrated your volunteer work and the compassion and empathy that goes with that. And it's so heartfelt and so well communicated. Thank you for this show, which is so deeply moving on so many different levels. Those who have been to Haiti, those who want to learn more, those who are challenged just to know where it is and what its history has been. So we're celebrating that, but we're also celebrating Black History Month and the whole history that goes back to Phyllis Wheatley. This is Poetry of Immigrants. Phyllis Wheatley, our first African-American published female poet, a big name. She started it all. And she was a young girl, a slave, bought right off the ship, and the rest is history. Isn't that a wonderful thing to be able to celebrate? Some of her poetry, of course, is culture-bound and certainly history-bound from 1760. We're talking, you know. So, and on, but it's so wonderful to be able to celebrate her and mention her name as really a founding poet who inspired generations to come.
I'd like to just add that we are fortunate to be here today, but we have a wonderful board, we have wonderful leaders that are working with us, and every one of them could do just as good, if not better, a job talking to you about the hospital. So, I mean, I've got a thumb library.
Thank you.
No, we work very hard. There's no question about it, as does everybody on that board.
Well, I'd like to celebrate your board, too.
Thank you.
That's really devotion, dedication, and hands-on, boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground, that's
heart connected, genuine. Thank you.
Thank you.
I felt it today.
Good.
Wow, and thanks for the memories. Oh, that was a memory trip for me. That's really powerful.
That's it, right?
So, last word.
Last word. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to talk about something that we really love doing.
Passionately, yeah.
Terry?
Well, and thank you, and we want to keep this going, and we're in the next phase after 10 years of hoping that our programs will grow and that we will provide what this community needs in terms of, you know, opportunities, and that will enable them to have their imagination do anything it wants.
Boy, that's beautifully said, because that's where the action lies, in the creative imagination. And, oh, heartwarming. Thank you so much, and it's great to see you again. And
Thank you.
Great to meet you, Terry. And thanks to your board, for sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And come back.
Oh, goody.
Because we're just starting. Isn't that wonderful?
No, I mean, are we still talking?
No.
Oh, okay.